Diddy is about to get a huge shock if he believed that the controversy surrounding him would end when he defeated the federal charges. Rumor has it that one of his ex-lovers recently disclosed a lengthy list of people Diddy allegedly transferred STDs to. Given the names on the STD list, it appears that Diddy was more involved than we realized. Rumor has it that Diddy has been paying off a lot of people, so if you are wondering how he has been able to get away with this for so long, it appears that his money has been speaking for him. Who exactly is on this list, and why is everyone voicing their opinions at this time? Let we begin. Alright, so as you are all aware, there have been reports that Diddy has some kind of illness or infection. These allegations only grew more intense when he showed up for his trial and appeared quite ill. We did not receive proof though until after the trial, when an escort sued Cassie, alleging that during one of their freak operations, Diddy and Cassie had given him an STD. Clayton Howard is the escort who filed the complaint, but while he is working, he goes by Dave. His name appeared when prosecutors were going through Cassie's text messages, but he did not really testify during the trial. Reports state that in another message between Ventura Fine and a person named Dave, the man texted around 1:30 or 1:45 a.m. to notify Cassie he had arrived at a meeting location. Roughly 6 hours later, he texted saying, "Thanks LOL." He stated in an interview, "They tricked me for the purposes of commercial S, using me as entertainment to satisfy their S fetishes and personal ambitions." He also claimed that Diddy and Cassie drugged, manipulated, and traumatized him while they themselves engaged in a toxic relationship that often became violent. In addition to ordering him to touch himself for hours on end, causing rips, skin peeling, and scabbing to his privates, he claims Cassie tricked him into consuming ecstasy and engaging in unprotected sexual activity. He continued discussing STDs, saying fans needed that validation, and the tale took off after that. The next thing we know, Dave was allegedly leaking additional information regarding Diddy's STI list, and I can assure you that it is more messy than you might think. Saucy Santana was among the first names on the list. This is intriguing because not very long ago, Santana's former partner had already made some really hurtful remarks. He did not explain everything, but it was sufficiently disorganized to make others look the other way. Now that the escort has opened up and shared her own receipts, things are beginning to come together, and not in a cute manner. Chef D, Santana's ex-boyfriend, accused him of having a STI in a lengthy, frantic tirade on social media, and he claimed to have the evidence to support his claims. Nor was this some nebulous, casual assertion. He was mentioning names, giving away test results, and providing just enough details to give you an idea of his seriousness. Whether he was being honest or seeking retribution, the timing of everything is undoubtedly helping people piece things together.
Oh, I swear, you can never swerve me, you big, fat, patty whack, give a dog a bone gas. Excuse me? Miss Bumpy? Never. Ever. I would never stick my too pretty. And the Spanish poppies deserve it.
Okay, I need that big.
What are you talking about?
I need to patch myself up. How y'all gonna let me leave and I'm going to fuck down?
Nah, I like that though.
Okay.
It's time to go. It's time to go!
This is a crazy section. The escort claimed that Santana was not just with Diddy, but also being transferred around to Diddy's business associates. And the reason that sounds familiar is most likely because Jane Doe alluded to it in her testimony. I believe we all understand what she means when she says that Santana was paid to perform for specific rappers. She claims that she first saw him at one of Diddy's notorious freak-offs, where Santana was purportedly working the room as an escort. However, it did not end there. She claimed to have run across him once more during a different freak-off that was hosted by a different well-known rapper, which, if accurate, fits the escort's allegation that Diddy pimped Santana out far too well. It gets even worse if you previously believed things were disorganized. Additionally, the escort asserted that Will Smith's separation with Jada was actually caused by Diddy giving him a STI. Do any of you recall when Jada revealed their split?
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. Yes. It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Most people at the time thought the breakup was only related to the August Alsina incident and Jada's incessant urge to humiliate Will in front of others. However, these recent rumors are totally changing that story. Rumor has claimed that Will hooking up with other men and women, including Diddy, was the true cause of their breakup. This is because the escort's assertions are bringing all of the old blind stories about Will and Diddy sneaking off together back into the public eye. Jada allegedly learned that Will had contracted a sexually transmitted infection from Diddy, and she was not willing to jeopardize her health in order to maintain appearances. This is when things become really spicy. News of Will and Jada's impending divorce came just hours after the escort had mentioned Will's name. They made it seem like Will was the one pushing for it, but it seems like a cover-up because Jada was obviously done and did not want to stay while Will mishandled her life. Usher was another name that kept coming up. He and Diddy used to be so close that people could not help but think of it, and their background began to appear much more dubious with all these new accusations circulating. Usher lived with Diddy in New York for about a year when he was barely 13 years old. He thought back on that period and acknowledged that it was an odd atmosphere in an interview with Howard Stern years later. He claimed to have seen things that unnerved him and stated unequivocally that he would never place his own children in such a circumstance. Fans are pulling up those old remarks and asking the obvious question, what actually happened back then? Now that Diddy's name is making headlines again for all the wrong reasons, but Usher's name has been circulating for other reasons as well. In addition, he has been sued 3 times by women who said he gave them herpes. Even while those cases were primarily related to herpes rather than HIV, they nevertheless fueled the flames. These new Diddy rumors were made more difficult by the fact that Usher has already been the target of STI-related charges. As people began to piece things together, some fans are now certain that Usher may have had more than herpes when he left the Diddy group. Not unexpectedly, Meek Mill is another name that purportedly surfaced. He is also the least startling name on this list, as I mentioned. Take Lil Rod's rumored connection with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, for instance. It was clear that he was referring to Meek Mill, even though he never spoke his name. Meek had the option to remain silent and let the situation play out, but instead he went online and began tweeting frantically, therefore validating everyone's suspicions. He mentioned things like, "I'm from Philly, I don't do nose candy or freaky Molly. Nobody won't even offer me that because I'm that heavy. No man or wat would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming." Additionally, he stated, "That's why I always come around all these industry ninjas with my real friends. You never catch me around anybody from the industry alone. You can't even hold a convo without my dog stepping in the room. It's been that way." However, a leaked video showed him with Diddy beside the pool, and it was hot as hell.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
And I am sure you all recall that shady tape that surfaced, purportedly showing Meek being thrashed by Diddy. Here's what the bodyguard said about this. "I will not even go into the specifics because the video itself is completely crazy. Diddy was slanging that thing all over town, girl, and there probably are not even that many names out there." How did Diddy, however, manage to get away with this for so long? How did he manage to remain silent while there were so many people and escorts who could have exposed him? All of it really comes down to money and deception. A doctor said Diddy allegedly maintained a slush fund specifically for the purpose of covering his side projects and escort expenses. He allegedly scared them into silence when that failed. Please share your thoughts in a comment section below.